You're watching a special presentation of the ZS Prize. I'm Suresh Venkat. Our next guest is Dr. Vijay Chandru. Dr. Chandru is a computer scientist and a healthcare entrepreneur. A technology pioneer of the World Economic Forum since 2006, he has served on the WEF's Industry Agenda Council on the future of the health sector. He is currently a National Distinguished Technologist and Adjunct Professor at the Indian Institute of Science. He was a founder of Strand Life Sciences, India's leading precision medicine solutions company, and led the company as executive chairman from its inception in 2000 till 2018. Dr. Chandru is a member of the jury of the ZS Prize. Dr. Chandru, advances in life sciences like gene therapy, cell therapy, personalized medicine are transforming healthcare in almost magical ways. How can we unleash such advances to benefit the Indian market?
Right. No, absolutely. And I think, while I mentioned that digital technologies are deep into the second half of the chessboard, which means that, you reach the second half on the 32nd square of the chessboard. So basically, technology has advanced by a factor of 4 billion when it has reached the second half. With certain areas in life sciences, and particularly genomics, we actually have also reached the second half of the chessboard. And that's why you're starting to see sort of the magic, right, from those technologies also starting to play out. And so these advances are, of course, in some sense, still at the cutting edge of R&D and so, what we're seeing right now is some very neat ideas being taken forward at laboratory scale and perhaps in early clinical work. What we will see roll out in the next few years will be something that would be extraordinary. But already, you see that you could actually do manipulations at a single cell level. You could be doing, cell therapies, gene therapies. And these are starting to come. They're expensive because there's been a lot of R&D that has had to be done to bring it to this stage. So the innovation has to be rewarded. But I think, what will happen is that you'll see the rapid in some sense, acceleration. And because of what we've seen in the information technology world, that what cost $4 billion now costs $1. So we're similarly going to see advances that will make many of these technologies and therapies actually accessible and affordable.
What will it take to make these advances in life sciences affordable?
Well, life sciences is a little different from information technology in the sense that, there are 2 or 3 differences, right? One difference is that there's slightly longer gestation in actually developing life sciences product. There is because of, the fact that there is health issues associated with these life sciences, not only to humans, also to other organisms. There's always a regulatory aspect as well with life scences, and so once you develop something, you also have to make sure that it is safe and it meets the standards. It goes through the regulatory pathways. And that tends to be a challenge for entrepreneurs because, you just have to plan to be a camel and not a tiger, right? So that, in fact, there's a very nice book out of University of Cambridge called Camels, Tigers, and Unicorns. And, in many ways, life science companies have to be camels. And there's nothing wrong with being a camel. And so I think, but, it does take a little bit of patience to build that. Now, you can do work in life sciences, that's a little peripheral to the regulatory pathways. So if you're doing screening and not actual diagnostics, or you're providing certain types of technological solutions to the clinical world as well, there could be spaces there that can have much quicker gestation, but you have to search for them. Right?
Dr. Chandru, in your view, what are the aims of the ZS?
The aims, I believe, are primarily to spot, very innovative ideas and to encourage these innovators. Uh, I would imagine primarily these would be young innovators, uh, fairly soon after they're out of formal education, possibly working professionals as well who are looking to do something meaningful and creative in an entrepreneurial way. And so I think the aim is really to encourage such innovators and give them the break that they need, right? And I think a ZS Prize, should end up being like a brand, like a MacArthur Prize or a Next Prize, or or in the academic world, we have the Abdul Kalam Prize for technology, or the J.C. Bose Prize for science. I think, and the Infosys Prize, which has also become a coveted prize. So I think introducing these types of awards actually does give a great boost to young innovators to take forward.
Dr. Chandru, do you see the ZS Prize acting as a sort of catalyst for spurring on healthcare innovation in India?
Absolutely. And I think, we need ideas like this. In fact, when some of us had gotten together to propose the Atal Innovation Mission back in 2014-15, when it was just being thought of, one of the things that we really focused on was challenge problems and how those could actually spur innovation at a different level. And of course, healthcare was one of the focus areas. And while I think the government has done its bit in trying to get this whole sort of startup excitement going, I think we need more sophisticated and mature sort of corporate players like ZS to also enter this domain and to spur this kind of entrepreneurship.
As a juror, Dr. Chandru, what are you personally looking for in the ideas and innovations from participants?
Well, as a juror, I'm particularly interested in of course, because of all the work that I've done in life sciences, I would be interested in ideas that take life sciences to the clinic, so from the bench to the bedside, so to speak. And the other area that really excites me is, of course, how we're going to look at addressing the rural divide, right? And can we actually develop disruptive technologies now to help the national digital health mission play out, right? And I think lots of infrastructure being put in place with the health stack, health exchanges, lots of, electronic health record focus areas and so on. So there'll be opportunities within these and also to build on top of these that would be exciting. And digital health is an area that really excites me.
Dr. Chandru, solving for India is one of the big themes of the ZS Prize. And as you already know, the ZS Prize is open to students, and not just students of medicine or life sciences. It's open to students across the spectrum. You could be an architecture student, a commerce student, an art student, or any kind of student, and you could still take part in the ZS Prize. What's your advice to student teams who are likely to participate in the ZS Prize?
Well, I think this is a very exciting opportunity for students to think about competing for this prize. And as you point out, I think the students who come from varying backgrounds, but what really matters is how you put together this multidisciplinarity that you might have in your teams, and come out with innovative ideas. And quite frankly, it does take multidisciplinary teams to actually today think about how you could address many of these issues. So I think it's for the student teams who are thinking of entrepreneurship as a path forward. And this is increasingly the case. We see even students who go through doctoral programs today actually now seriously consider whether they want to go down the entrepreneurial path rather than the standard academic career paths. So I think this can open up all kinds of opportunities for students at varying levels and from different disciplines.
Dr. Vijay Chandru, thank you for talking to us at the ZS Prize. Watch this space for more.
Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to have been a part of this and look forward to seeing the great innovative ideas coming up from the competitors.